There we go.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 224. I'm your host, Rico, with my co-host,
Dane Cody.
Dane. Cody and I get together once a week to talk about video games, TV, movies, and whatever the hell we like. Totally not inappropriate topics of discussion at all, ever. Mostly video games.
You're being serious?
Yes, I'm being serious.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Welcome, everybody. If you've never been here before, we usually start the show off in the BS section, which we are knee-deep in. Get into some what you've been playing, our news and stuff, public service announcements, and free-for-all section. Brief little outline. We got some new games we played. There's a bunch of fun news. Sean Layden leaves PlayStation. Crossplay comes out of beta.
Spoilers? What the hell, man?
It's just a quick overview. Last of Us 2 won't have multiplayer, and much more. New games for Gold with October, because they didn't announce in time for our show last week.
They never do. They always announce the day after we record.
And then some other fun tidbits. Before we get to that, though, some housekeeping. Join our Discord server, bit.ly/Gap Discord, GAPDISCORD. You can punch that in on any browser, and you can join our Discord server for the offline chats where me and Dane hang out quite often, and along with a bunch of our awesome, dope-ass, cool listeners. Also make some announcements there.
You might be overselling it a little bit there, but...
we suck. Our listeners are cool. But...
Ish.
Yeah. So join it. Do it. The app's awesome. Install the app on your phone. Do it.
Yeah.
It's good times.
Do it.
We got a couple contests going on right now. I think I'll draw one of the three next week.
Ooh, exciting.
Right now we're giving away a set of those, I guess they're limited or sold out now, maybe. The Zelda Link's Awakening Slurpee Cups, collectible cups. People seem pretty excited about those.
Oh, you mean the ones that were only being sold in Canada?
Yes. Super limited because, nobody lives up here. There's one 7-Eleven, and I think they got 10 sets.
Sweet.
And I bought 4 of them, so.
I'm surprised you didn't buy all of them.
No, I didn't buy them all. We'll probably have those to give away for a while.
Was it a limit of 4? Is that why you only bought 4?
No, I originally bought a set for myself, and then I was in there I just happened to be at the gas station, and all the Essos on the West Coast, at least, converted their convenience stores to 7-Elevens. And it's
that is definitely not true around here at all.
It's Esso. Yeah, it's Esso. Oh, at least on the island.
There's 1 or 2 that I know of that have converted over, but all I know, I was literally just drove by one earlier today that is definitely not a 7-Eleven.
Yeah, pretty much all of them in Victoria are 7-Elevens.
Interesting.
Anyway, they had they had tons, and I was like, I just had the idea. I'm like, oh, this is a cheap giveaway. So I'm like, it's like cheap promotion, right? Promotion's expensive. I like cheap promotion. Yeah. Who doesn't like cheap stuff?
I don't like cheap stuff.
Well, anyway, to enter that contest, bit.ly/Zelda Cups. The password for bonus entries as a listener viewer on the Gleam.io entry thing, the password's Game Boy. So that'll get you some bonus, 20 bonus entries. It'll increase your odds as a listener viewer of winning that contest. Other contests we have going on. That's quite a few bonus
entries.
Pardon?
That's quite a few bonus entries.
Yeah, considering most actions only get you 1 entry, you really increase your odds. We're also giving away a copy of Wreckfest on Xbox One. That contest you can find at bit.ly/WinWreckfest. The password for that one for bonus entries is Wreckit. And then we're giving away another Game Pass Ultimate 3-month card, whatever. To enter that contest is bit.ly/Game Pass Ultimate. And that's all caps because Bitly is stupid. We're not going to go into
Game Pass Ultimate. Does it have to be caps? What if I
It
put that
has to
in
be
and it's
caps.
not
If
caps?
you don't put caps, it's going to take you to some other asshole's freaking short link for some stupid reason.
What?
I know. Anyway,
That's scary.
the password for bonus entries on that one is GPU. You could figure
Because
out
you
what
would
that
like a new
stands for.
GPU.
Yeah. Anyway, that's it for housekeeping. Dane,
Yo.
shall we get into it?
I think we're already into it.
Yeah. Well, let's really get into it.
Oh, okay.
What you been playing?
I been on a bit of a Batman kick.
I thought you were going to say I was on a bit of a bender.
Dude, spoiler. No, I'm just kidding. No. Bit of a Batman kick. Just finished off Arkham Asylum. Like what, a week ago, last show.
Yeah, you pounded through
And
that.
yeah, I did. It was cool. It was like, well, I played a little bit before, and then I more or less finished it off over a weekend and like a couple of days into the week. And I had Batman Arkham Origins sitting there. That was the one that I had not touched at all. A lot of people, I'd heard a lot of things about it. A lot of people were like, "That's a terrible game. What are you doing?"
I've heard good things.
And then I'd heard from other people like that it had some issues, but it was really good. And I heard from some other people that the story was really rad, but the game was kind of meh. So anyways, so I was like, you know what? I own it on a couple of different platforms. I may as well install it and play it on the PC. So I'm playing it on PC. It's real pretty. I really like it. Like, I don't know if it's because everybody like poo-pooed the game so much. I have not beat it yet. I'm probably, if I had to guess, getting close to 3/4 of the way through it now. I'm definitely over halfway. So I think I'm probably between halfway and 3/4, somewhere in there. So far the story is amazing. So far one of the best like Batman stories I think they've actually ever done. In like, I think Arkham Asylum, between the story and the characters and just the structure of that game, I still think is the best in the series. I will say though that pure story wise, I think Origins has a way cooler story. And unless it falls apart at the end, like I said, like I will probably finish it before next podcast. So hopefully I will have sort of the deets on whether or not the story goes completely off the rails in a horrible way or not. But as of right now, probably has the best Joker I've ever seen in anything. I love the Joker that is in that game. He is ruthless and crazy and psychotic in all the ways that I want the Joker to be. And there is a real darkness to the character in this game as the Joker that it's one of those things where in like a lot of movies and games, the Joker, there's those moments where like the Joker is almost like, it almost looks like he's going to murder somebody, or it almost looks like, you know, he does the whole got the gun to somebody's head and then he pulls the trigger and like it goes bang and it's like a joke or whatever,
Yeah.
you know, or he looks like he's going to shoot somebody, but he doesn't. And then he
takes
walks
everyone
away.
to like that psychological edge. It's like his
Right. But in Origins, it's like he's waving the guns around and he looks like he's going to do something and then he fucking does it. And you're just like, holy shit, that just seriously fucking happened. Like he just killed that dude. Like it's wild. I love it. Like it's actually Troy Baker.
Is it a prequel, sequel,
It
side
is.
story?
So this game takes place in the Arkham universe, but it's 2 years after Batman starts being Batman. So at the beginning of this game,
So it's technically before Arkham Asylum.
yes, quite a bit before.
Huh. Interesting.
This is like the beginnings of Batman, more or less. Like the one of the cool things is like at the beginning of the game, everybody thinks Batman's just a fucking myth. Like hardly anybody knows who Batman is yet, and it's
so
like
he's still like in the shadows.
Totally. So like everybody's like, oh, that Bat guy, like I don't know, is he even real? Like I don't know. It's just the stories the cops tell you when like to scare you. So Gordon isn't a police commissioner yet. He's just a beat cop in this. He like him and Batman haven't even like kind of they're still like learning to trust each other and like so you see that whole relationship starting to become a thing. Like honestly, like it's I definitely understand like and I can see where if this would have come out like cuz I believe this came out like 1 or 2 like I think it was 2 years after Arkham City.
Mm-hmm.
And like I think it uses a very similar like structure to Arkham City, like the city structure and things like that. Like I think it was one of those games where like if you played Arkham City and then you played this like that close together, I think it would maybe have been a little bit too close to when the game came out. But like seeing as I haven't played Arkham City in absolutely years, I never beat Arkham City, at least not yet. Um, but like playing Arkham Asylum and then playing this, I'm loving it. It's awesome. Like it does a lot of things really well. Obviously, it's prettier because it's a newer game.
It's probably not a bad idea to play it right now too. It's been a while since a Batman game, so it's like
It scratches that Batman itch, man. Like I honestly feel,
you're saying that you feel like it's
like
one of the best ones.
dude, I really like the story is it's like I am absolutely loving the story that they're building here. Like the whole concept and like where the story starts off, I was like, oh, this is kind of a neat idea. And then where it's gone, I'm just like, holy shit, like this has gone so different in a good way. I'm loving it. Like I said, unless something goes drastically wrong at the end to like make me hate it, as of right now, there hasn't been anything that is super annoying, like no moments where like sometimes these games, especially the ones that people kind of hate on, there could be those like moments of frustration where you're fighting over and over again or you're doing that thing over again, or like there's been a few moments that have been a little bit counterintuitive where I was like, what am I supposed to be doing? Like where am I going? Like what is but they've passed, and like I haven't needed to look anything up.
I think it just got some unfair hate because it was a different studio, and it's like
It's interesting too. Like the art style is similar,
it looks
but a little bit different.
If you called it Arkham City on your stream, I wouldn't have had a clue that it was a different game.
Yeah,
It's the same.
it actually does.
Literally looks identical.
It actually the art looks a little different. The characters are like a little bit more like stocky kind of like they almost have a little bit more of a not a cartoony look, but they do look a little different.
Like Gears,
I did
they're
notice.
like Gears of War bros.
A little bit more, not quite to that extent.
No.
But no, honestly, man, I'm really been blown away by this game. And again, like I said, like I don't know, I did not play it originally when it first came out, so and again, like it may have been one of those things where at the time with Arkham City having come before it and it, also being a very similar size map to Arkham City and like a lot of those similarities, I could definitely see. But at least from the story and like the gameplay and everything, loving it. Like it's worth a play, absolutely.
I think I own it somewhere, but I can't remember.
I had apparently bought it on Steam years ago, probably in a sales at some point.
Was it ever part of a PSN or Xbox thingy?
I don't think so. It's funny because the big Epic Store one that they just did, where you got it was all the Arkham games except this one. So it was the 3 Rocksteady games, but this one was not included in that, which I actually think is a shame. But no, straight up,
Yeah,
man.
I guess it's more complicated because it's a different studio, so to get it, the other
Yeah.
ones all belong to Rocksteady. So,
But no, I honestly cannot get over like how awesome the Joker is in this game. Like it is.
well, Troy Baker's
He nails it.
He's a
He absolutely nails it.
actor.
Like, fuck, man. Like there's a few things that have happened in this, and I was just like,
If there wasn't like
Yeah.
a million games out right now, I'd be really tempted to play it.
yeah, you should be tempted to play it. Like, it's worth playing.
Pull it out of
really
my
is.
backlog.
Yeah, so I've been sort of cleaning up a little bit of backlog in that regard. Rick, tell me about this Destiny 2 Shadowkeep. Because I
So,
know you've been in on that. How is let's talk first about how is your transition from Epic to Steam?
you
Or
mean from
sorry, not
Blizzard?
Epic. Blizzard, yeah, the BattleNet
Well, I
to Steam.
did the transfer or the linking or whatever the hell they called it, like
Mm-hmm.
the move. I think I
Mm-hmm.
did it back in August,
Okay.
and I dismantled all the stuff they recommended you dismantle because like the currency schemes and stuff were changing in this game.
Right.
And oh wait, we forgot something. Pew, 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 pew. This week in Destiny. That's for the Twitch people on the stream.
Okay.
They get the sound effects, unfortunately. Goddamn, really need to figure that out so they come on the podcast. They're really good sound effects.
That's what you keep telling me.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So I did that a couple months ago. So
Right.
the only thing I was scared about is like I was there like at launch.
Yeah, day one, sort of while the chaos is happening.
You know, like I kind of lucked out because I was, you know, working from home. Don't tell anyone, Luke. Don't get mad at me. I did lots of work. Don't worry. I only played a little bit because the servers were down all day anyway.
Right.
But
yeah,
what I
it was
was
a bit of a dumpster fire at the beginning of the day, is my
so like
understanding.
I was worried that my character and save wasn't going to transfer because even though it said it was going to, and it's like, oh man, loading server disconnect errors, loading server disconnect errors,
Right.
queue line. I'm like, oh shit, and like multiple reminders like, don't log in if you haven't done the transfer, because if you log in, it's gonna fuck your shit up. Blah blah blah. Like all these like
Right.
warning screens. And like, I'm pretty sure I did the move. Yeah, I did the move.
Yeah,
They told
I
me
did
to
the
do the move. I'm like, I
Yeah.
did the move, but then there's so many warnings that I'm like, did I do the move? I'm like, oh shit.
I hope
No,
I didn't.
I did it.
I hope I did the move.
I'm like, I did it. I swear I did it. I'm like, I better fucking I did it. Eventually got in and I'm like, there's my characters. And I'm like, whew. I'm like, because that would have been like
Right.
500, 600 hours down the fucking toilet. I literally would have fucking murdered
But just
someone.
think, man, then you could have just like started fresh and you would have got to experience it all over again.
Sad thing is I probably would have.
You probably would have. Me, I would have been like, fuck this game, I'm done. Like, there's too much other shit to play.
So it opens up. It's also the free. It's now free to play. So like, I think, I don't know.
Well, up until Shadowkeep, everything
is
more
it
or less.
everything up until Shadowkeep?
That's my understanding.
Okay.
You get all the content up to Shadowkeep.
So-
and then if you want Shadowkeep, you pay for it. Moving forward.
They've got the season pass now.
Mm-hmm.
You got the artifact. You got finishers. You got the new armor 2.0. You got a new mod system. It looks like they've done away with like levels completely, and it's all power based, like item level based. Because you level up your season pass.
Okay.
I don't know.
Where were
I have
the
a
levels
max
before?
level character, but I don't see anywhere in my inventory screen, like
level 30?
an indication of my level on my character.
Right, but
Um,
once you hit like level 30 or whatever or 20, that went away anyways, and it was only based off your gear score.
But I think it always showed 50 on the screen. Man, for someone who's played a lot of Destiny, you think I'd know better, right? Anyway,
Yeah.
this aside,
really do.
I can't speak to the new player experience because I'm a fucking boss and I'm at the end of the game. I'm max power level 750. You know, I got the big.
Is that good?
I got the big guns.
That's a lot of shirt.
Anyway, yeah. So they little intro. Go to the moon.
Okay.
Play some mission. Opens up a
So
little
is
bit.
there like another big
Yeah,
sort
it's
of
a new area.
chunk?
It's like it's the moon from Destiny 1.
Yeah, no, I
remixed,
know that. I just
remastered.
mean like, did they like with the other, like the Taken King and stuff like that? There was like a big story mission that you played.
Yeah,
through
there's a
that-
big
that was about
campaign I'm
10
playing through.
hours.
There's a campaign I'm playing
Okay.
through right now.
Okay.
So unlike the season content stuff, which was like, event type stuff and exotic quests, this is like you could say this is like Taken King in that it's another big hive based
Okay. So I have
freaking
not
story
paid for
mission.
Shadowkeep yet. And like so I'm really curious to log in and just see like I have essentially bought everything up until
Yeah.
Shadowkeep. Like I
So it's
bought the seasons
it's
pass
40
for
bucks.
before.
40 bucks Canadian. I guess 29 American.
I don't know.
I
So
bought
I'm
the
kind of curious like just what is included like kind of in
Well,
the
it's a
everything
bunch of the new
before, right?
systems are included to all the existing people.
Right.
But
Well,
the shadow keep and the new I guess the new season of the Undying, which is like this Vex thing that hasn't, I don't think it's started yet, or we're in the middle of
okay.
it. I don't know. Is the new content. So I think you get everything
Right.
except for that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
far, the campaign seems really fucking cool. I
Sweet.
haven't beaten it. I've probably played 6 hours worth
Okay.
because I played a bunch last night.
All right. That's not terrible.
No, I really like it. It's definitely kind of seems high on the horror side because it's like Eris
Cool.
Morn and it's the Hive and it's like bad stuff going on the moon. It's
The
really
Hive are
fucking
probably
cool.
my least favorite.
Dude,
Like,
there's a really freaking cool reveal of something
yeah.
that's been brewing for a long time in Destiny
Okay.
that's in this campaign so far, and I'm like, oh shit. Like
I
now
wonder, like,
some of the
do you have
bigger
to? Is this something though that like
it's so
you
exciting as a Destiny
because you've
fan.
been obsessed with Destiny for so long, like you'll notice it?
Oh,
I'm wondering if it's something
you'll
like
know
for me, like a filthy casual. I'm
you'll
wondering,
notice
like,
it if you've beaten the campaign.
okay, so
It's a
I've
big
beaten
thing
the
that happens from
campaign,
the Destiny 2 campaign. That
but I'm like wondering like if it will happen for me, and I'll be like, oh my god, this is crazy, or if it's one of those things where I'm like,
no, you
yeah,
don't need to
okay,
pay. You don't need to.
okay,
It's a connection to like Marvel-esque end credit scene stuff. It's like,
cool,
oh,
sweet,
it's
I like
pretty
it.
fucking cool. I'm
Right on.
really liking the vibe. I'm liking the missions. It's pretty tough. Seems harder. Um,
Okay.
they kind of are like doling out the new systems. Like there's new stuff that Eris gets you doing. I just opened up the hunting. You're hunting down. You basically this big story mission happens. Yada yada. MacGuffin. You can't get past this thing. You need to go cleanse this armor to like advance.
Right.
And then it's kind of like I'm building up a suit of armor to go deal with to figure out what's going on with the big baddies.
Right.
Um,
Okay.
And I guess that's like where this campaign, now that it's really more opened up, is going to revolve around getting this stuff and cleansing it, and then going and finishing the campaign or whatever. And then I'm sure it leads into the raid or whatever, like they always do.
Right. Yeah.
But so far, it's pretty freaking cool. I did the new strike, which was pretty awesome. The new systems are sweet. I like the armor systems, the customization. Like there's tons of customization, which I'm not doing any of it really. I was playing with it, but it really doesn't make sense to waste your resources on any of it right now as you're leveling.
Right. Of course.
I'm 8. I can't remember the photo I put in the Discord channel. I think I'm like 848. So I soared like almost 100 power level.
What's the max?
900.
900 is the new
Is the
max?
new cap, yeah. So it's like,
really?
yeah. So like 100, 150, 750 was the old one.
Right.
It's the soft cap because I assume the next season will be 900 and 950.
Okay.
So anyway, right now it's 900.
That makes sense.
I did the campaign mission, got a pretty high level item, and I think it's kind of like designed like that because it just makes your drops better when you have something that's so much higher. It kind of drags everything up, kicking and screaming as you get random drops.
Yes.
And I managed to have power leveling tip for all y'all out there who've been playing a lot of Destiny. I used a lot of my Vanguard tokens and Crucible tokens at Shaxx and Zavala, and just kept turning them in and getting legendary drops from them, and they just kept going up in power, and I was like power creeping like slowly. I had like 500 or 600 tokens of each.
Oh wow.
And that's a lot of drops. Like that's like, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, maybe 60 legendary drops.
Jeez.
And every time one drops, it's a little more powerful than the last one because it takes the average of the most powerful gear you have in your inventory, which is a nice thing. In the old Destiny, you had to fucking put it all on. In this one, it just takes into account the highest level stuff you have, and it gives you an average.
That's cool.
So I kind of power leveled there, which is kind of sweet because at first, before I did that, like the moon is definitely gated more so than like any other area in the game. It's like you go to the right. Oh, those guys all have red skulls on their head. I can't even fucking damage them, or if I can, I'm barely scratching the surface. So it feels
even
very
worse than like the hidden city and stuff.
Yeah, like very MMO like in that regard. It's like because that's like in an MMO, right? It's like, oh, I'm not supposed to be over here. I'm supposed to be over there. That's where the pussy guardians play. That's for the baller ass guardians. You know. There's tons. Seems like there's tons of secrets. I found chests that have combinations on them, like environmental puzzles. There'll be like logos on the chest, and you got to find the symbols in the room and like shoot them to unlock chests and stuff, which is kind of neat.
Oh, kind of like God of War.
Yeah, like you had to do with the hammer or with the axe. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And where like you'd find the chest, you'd have to like light the runes or whatever in order to open the chest.
Kind of like that. There's some there's some random like boss guys in the map too that if you fight, they open like secret little pathways and like bet chests with little better rewards, which is kind of neat.
That's
the
cool.
Campaign seems cool. The armor system's cool. I like the transmog, how you can make stuff look differently. Like that photo I posted in the group. You can't change the appearance of blues, but you can change the appearance of all the legendaries.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's like I'm wearing like
but
crap.
without changing obviously the
stats
you get the
like
stats.
But you get it. I made my guy look pretty cool with the gear that I have, but I have like a mix of blues and crappy legendaries that like just look ugly and disjointed. But like I made them look like different pieces, and it actually looks like kind of like a proper armor set, which is kind of cool. That's fun.
That's awesome. Yeah, Dauntless does that where you can like
and the mods
adjust the
like
look of stuff.
You got a power level for your gear, which you can level up, which I'm not really investing in too much. They have like a power level of 10, which determine what kind of mods, because you get to customize it yourself. So it's like you choose the roles by putting the mods in that you own on your gear, which really like ups the, takes the randomness of god rolls out of your armor, but gives you control. I want to build all towards this, and you totally can. Instead of having luck, I guess I'm going to build this way because all my drops kind of fell this way, right?
Right.
Which is really neat. Like I like that customization. The season pass is really cool. So it's like a battle. They have a battle pass now. So you got your free path and you got your paid path. I bought the deluxe version, so you get the season's pass. Yeah. And of course, the season pass, level 1, you get an exotic hand cannon and you get like a brand new armor set. Yep. It's only level 750, but it's like a whole new cool armor set. So if you weren't at 750, ta-da! Boom,
now you are.
Here, boom, you're ready to go now.
That's cool, because I'm 590, I think, or something like that. I think.
See, I don't know how that would work for you. I assume that it's just
30 or something like that. I
assume that it's just 750, so I could be wrong. Maybe it's 750 because I was 750. I don't know.
No, that's cool.
But it has the free path and the paid path, and of course you get both if you're a paid member. But there's good drops in the free path. They're far less frequent, but there's the new
the thing, right?
Like to infuse weapons now, they kind of simplified it. You just need I can't remember the name of the material, but you just need one of this new material. They drop as rewards from events and bounties and so forth. They seem less frequent than like the other stuff because you needed like legendary shards and like masterwork cores or whatever.
Yeah, like it got like initially Destiny 2 when it first came out, it was super easy. You could infuse tons of stuff. It was great. I personally loved it. And then they changed it all.
They made it
a bunch. Then you needed a bunch of these like 3 or 4 different things in order to infuse, and then it kind of didn't make
shards,
it worth it.
And materials and glimmer.
Yeah. And so it sounds like now they're kind of walking it back a little bit.
Yes and no.
Right.
You can craft those. I really wish I knew what they were called. Probably should have taken better notes. But anyway, I think it's called. I think they might be called an upgrade core. I think that's what they might just be called.
Okay. So you need upgrade cores.
You can
in order
craft them similar to how you
Hmm.
used to upgrade armor. 25 mats, some legendary
Right.
shards, and a bunch of glimmer and enhancement cores. So you can craft them as well.
Okay.
Or you get, like I said, you get them from rewards, and you get a decent amount from the season pass. Like it seems like every like few levels, you just get 3 of them.
Okay.
Which is like basically 3 free infusions. Which is
Okay.
right
So
now.
I was gonna ask, like, you only need one per infusion, though.
Yeah, you just need one,
Okay.
and then
That's
you need
cool.
a different resource to masterwork the items after you upgrade them, upgrade their power level. So when you get a good armor set, there will be some investment into leveling up a good armor set.
Right.
As there was in the old one, like when you no one really masterworked armor before, because it was just kind of pointless. In the new Armor 2.0 masterworking armor, there's a point to it because you will have full like power level 10. You'll be able to put the max amount of mods on the gear and the best
Right.
types of mods, because the more powerful mods cost more energy. It's all energy
okay.
based depending on the type of mod it is.
Right.
So it's cool. I love the depth. I think it's great. I don't know if I'm lucky because I had lots of shards. Right now I don't feel like it's been too grindy. I'm 50.
Oh,
I
guarantee you it'll be super.
Oh, I'm
grindy,
sure
but-
there's lots of grindiness. I'm sure right now I know I'm 50 power above the story missions.
Okay.
Because they're all 8. I think all of them. I have like 3 missions on the map right now, or 4.
And they're around 800 or so. And
Yeah,
like,
one's
40 or
800,
whatever?
810, 820, and then one's 850.
Okay.
And this is that I'm hunting down the nightmares to reclaim the armor, to cleanse the armor. So anyway, the finishers are freaking cool. So they added
Nice.
finishers. So when you get an enemy down weak, you got a 1-shot kill. There's no
Sweet.
there's no cooldown on it. You just keep doing it.
Nice.
If you take your enemies down, you can, depending on, I got the artifact when you hit level 7 of your season pass, you unlock the artifact, and the artifact has like these like kind of game changing perks on it. And I'm using a perk. I think it's a level 1 perk where when I use a finisher, it reloads my weapons,
Nice.
which is pretty sweet. That's
Pretty
awesome.
That can be pretty awesome.
And then the second level perk I got is on my hand cannons. They do like mass damage to shielded enemies, which is kind of neat.
Okay.
And I
Sweet.
think it's an explosive round as well. So that's like a global perk. And you insert it as a mod onto any of your hand cannons you got, which is kind of cool. So that artifact adds like a bunch of gameplay, changing.
So then, is there other artifacts like in
There's
the
one
game that you
artifact for the
find?
season. There's
Okay.
multiple levels. I think it can be leveled up 12 times. And then there's
Okay.
like multiple perks on each like level. And
Okay.
there's
That makes sense.
costs associated with unlocking them, but
Right.
it's just more depth, more customization, which is freaking cool.
More things to grind for.
Yep. You
Yep.
can buy new perks.
Right.
Or new finishers in the store. There's lots of stuff you can buy in the store that's all new.
Of course.
But in the season pass, if you have the paid season pass, I can see the finisher for like my class as one of the rewards. It's a really
Right.
awesome armor set too. That's an unlock. So I'm gonna have to max my season pass out because it looks freaking awesome. It looks
That's
like
what they're hoping for.
It looks Vex, like a Vex armor suit. It looks really cool.
That's kind
At
of
least the Titan one looks cool. I don't know about the other ones. I'm really
Right.
enjoying it. I've literally just scratched the surface.
right.
I like a lot of the changes. I haven't hit
So much
any.
more Destiny 2 Shadowkeep talk to come.
Oh yeah, there'll be a lot more to come. I haven't hit any walls that make me upset. I know
That's good.
Launch day, the servers were a disaster in the afternoon,
Yeah.
early evening. But in the evening when I really logged in and got a big chunk of time in, I just
were
logged
fine.
in. I logged in
Well,
right
that's
away,
cool.
and after
And they've been more or less fine since then.
I haven't had an issue signing in since. It was
Okay,
just
that's
it was
cool.
mainly that morning, afternoon.
Yeah, essentially as
early
soon as they
evening.
went live and everybody hit them, right?
Yeah.
So no, that's
I
cool.
think they're still having some back end issues with like some
Oh,
of
I'm
the
sure.
BattleNet stuff because
Well, I mean, also your game just went free to play, so suddenly you've got however
Yeah.
many thousands, possibly millions of people downloading it and hitting your servers that were not hitting it before, right? So you have a huge influx of brand new players, which you were already going to get from the new expansion because you got all the players coming back that hadn't been playing. And now you've got a huge influx of new players because it's now free for, essentially everybody.
That's
right?
pretty amazing. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I'm
sweet.
excited. If you haven't played it, download it. Like Dane said, there's the free to play version now.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Right?
I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty happy. So
sweet. I'm a little nervous about like how grindy an MMO they're making it, and I'm worried that like for somebody like me who's more of a casual, I worry that like at a certain point I'm not going to be able to kind of like jump in and sort of keep up with what's going on, and at a certain point I'm going to log in and be like, what the fuck? I'm out. Like this is
I'm very interested to see what it's like. See, that's the problem. Like I have 3 max level characters. I'd really be interested to see what the start of the game is like. I don't think you can make a 4th character. Like I don't think I can start over unless I made like a new account.
No, you couldn't delete one of those characters. I mean, I guess
I'm not deleting one of my characters.
No, make it put it in the like. I'm not going to use. Or I guess that only works for the account. You can't just do that per character, right?
I guess.
Or wait, no, I thought you could because you can't like take one of the characters out.
I could just play on PS4 and not transfer a character to see what it's like.
I don't know how that works.
That'd be the easiest way. Or on Xbox.
But then you'd have to play it on PS4.
True story, bro.
After having had like 100 frames a second and mouse and keyboard, could you really go back to 30 frames a second and controller in Destiny?
I'm sure it's great. Destiny's a good game.
Nobody's arguing that. They're just saying, it'd be hard to go back.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, it's so good. I'm so happy. I just wish it got delayed until next year, to be honest, so I could play everything else.
There's a lot of other stuff coming out right now, which I apparently am not playing anyways, so go figure. I do what I want.
I do what I want.
Yeah, Dauntless. I didn't even realize, apparently they released on console earlier this year in early access, just on everything. Was that they claim it was a beta, and so last week they went version 1 officially. Like they launched version 1 of the game. It came out of beta, as they said. Cool. That also coincided with
major changes, or just like
they released some new weapon. They released a new weapon. They're essentially like these dope gloves that you put on and literally punch the monsters to death, which is rad.
They didn't like overhaul a bunch of the systems or interface or anything.
Oh yeah, no, there's like a whole bunch of changes that they made.
Man.
Yep. Oh yeah, no, big changes to the game. New weapon. There's some new monsters. Obviously high level. They've changed some of the interface stuff. I'm sure like if I sat here and looked at the log, I'd be able to tell you like, oh yeah, this is different, and that works different now. I didn't play too much. I did dive in and play about, I think I fought like 5 or 6 monsters with the new like gauntlets. Essentially, they're really cool. They're like combo based. So the idea is like you have
combo based.
You like charge them up by attacking and finishing combos, and then you're charging a meter, and then once there's like 3 different sort of things that you can do with that meter. Like when you get like the first slot on the meter, once you hit that charged, you can use it to do a special attack. And then once you've done that attack, it also adds an effect. And so once you add, and then when you do the second attack, it also adds another effect. And then there's like a third big effect and big attack that you do. So it's like, so there's always like constantly like, oh, I've got two meters of my bar, I can do this attack, or oh, I've done 1 meter, but then I've also done the third. Like think of it as almost like levels, but you can actually do like level 1 and level 3 depending on the combos that you do. So like if you do a heavy combo across on the monster, that'll charge your like third meter. But if you do like this like straight just single combos, then you're only going to charge your first meter. And if you do like a combination of like heavy and light attacks, you're going to like charge your middle meter. So it's like this, you're constantly charging meters and attacking and it's really cool. It's really fun, like because it's a much more like quick character, but you also have to be way close, right? Like you have to stay close and you have to be in close, which is like a lot of the other quick characters. You tend to be, you've got a lot of distance that you can use. So this is kind of neat that you have to get in close, like with the melee stuff, but you still kind of have that speed and stuff, which works really well for me. I really like it. I think the character is a lot of fun to play. So I've already like leveled them up a bunch. They just started a new season to coincide with their launch of like version 1. So there's like a whole bunch of new stuff in the store, new battle, like new hunt pass, etc., etc. I will probably be playing a bit more of that this weekend, so I'll have hopefully some more to talk about once I've kind of dug more into the meat and potatoes of it. So, but hey, that game remains really good. So there you go. And apparently, unfortunately, some people can't still play it. So
I've been meaning to play it, and I know you're not referencing me.
No, not you. I know some people that our listeners have been having problems for some reason or another.
It's just on PS4 or something. It's like broken.
Yeah, I don't know. Like for some reason he can no longer play it on PS4. It just says he gets like a connection error, and
but he can play it on PC.
Yeah, or on So
weird.
But yeah, no, it's smart and it's great. I'm glad to see that they're moving forward.
Yeah, they're doing great. That is awesome. They're in Vancouver, right?
The bulk of the studio is in Vancouver. They have 3 studios, one in Seattle, one in Vancouver, and one in California.
They've been expanding.
Yeah.
They've been
but the bulk,
it.
like almost 100 of their employees are in Vancouver.
Been meaning to get back to it, but there's just too many damn games.
I get it. I get it.
Ubisoft was so gracious to provide me with a copy of Ghost Recon Breakpoint on PC. I have only played about an hour of it. I streamed it, actually.
Ooh!
If you want to see the game, check out the channel. I should have a past broadcast of me playing it.
Sweet.
I think I even have a cool clip I made of me sniping fools. It's not that good of a clip. I was just screwing around with the clip feature, or whatever the hell.
What'd you think? Like I played the beta like quite a while ago, the first beta that I wasn't allowed to talk about. But I didn't want to play too much of that because in the past, like with Division and with these other games, like I find I play the beginning of the game like 4 times and then I kind of have a hard time playing it when it finally comes out.
Like that's what I hate about betas is like I don't want to play.
Like it's fine when I find like their multiplayer betas, because then it's like you're just playing multiplayer stuff, which is rad, and it kind of gives you an idea what's to come once the game launches. But when it's single player like that, it's or even co-op stuff, it can really be kind of annoying. Because I played the first like 2 hours, like hour and a half.
Is it the intro of the game in the beta?
Yeah, you get shot down. You end up on an island.
Down. You're all fucking beat out, limping along, and then you bandage yourself.
You show up, a bunch of dudes get shot, and you're like, no. And then you like come across the like area where a bunch of people are, which was kind of like the main area or whatever.
Yeah,
that's kind of where like I played up till.
That's essentially where I got up to. I believe that's where I think I ended the stream.
That's fair.
I might have played a little bit longer after that. It's pretty.
It is very pretty.
I do like the tone and the aesthetic better. It's more gritty military. It's less of that, the Medellin cartel, and I'm the coca boss and the cocaine, and I'm the drug dealer guy, and everyone listens to me, and blah, blah, blah.
I want to kill everybody. Yeah, like
piles of cocaine everywhere. We're snowboarding on coke mountains. Dude,
I would play that game. That would be a good game.
It's just fucking ridiculous. So,
right.
But it was still fun to run around, drive your motorcycle off a cliff, freaking fly a helicopter.
It's a lot more MMO-y though, eh? Like,
it's like fucking Destiny, dude. Like full item screen, gear levels.
It felt a lot more like
enemies have they're like skulls over their heads and
like I can't kill those dudes.
Level.
like I'm level 1 now, and now these dudes are level 2. I got to be more careful, and like it was a lot more MMO than even like, because like Wildlands, your character had a level, but it like none of the enemies had levels. Like it was just your character level was more or less just to give you perks and stuff to help you with various things in the game, right?
Yeah.
But the enemies, like you could in theory go fight the hardest areas at the beginning of the
I don't
game. You
know
just
how
wouldn't.
good that would go for you.
No, but you could in theory do it though. Is my point is like the guns are still hitting the same, like you know what I mean? Whereas in the new Ghost Recon Wildlands 3 Breakpoint, you cannot do that because like you have a level and enemies have a level, and just like in the Division, like if you attack enemies that are even like 3 levels ahead of you, like sometimes like that gets bad real quick.
Yeah.
Quit looking at the stream.
What? I'm listening to you.
You're the worst. I'm gonna fucking tell you, like we're gonna have to like not let you look at the stream anymore.
I'm trying to look at what power level I ended my gameplay at. Because I was looking at the inventory screen, but Twitch is terrible for like pausing. Like I swear I highlighted it and hit pause, and it's like nope.
So, anyways, yeah, I'm finding like I was very curious to see like one of the things I will say is that game ran pretty rough when I played it.
Yeah, I have it on. I guess it's on the highest settings, so it's like I'm not getting the best frame rate in the world, but
Right.
it's smooth enough. Like
Okay.
it's not bad. Like it's not terrible.
But like I said, I played it super early, so I was hoping like I'm pretty sure
I
that
was
the
also
end
streaming
game
at the
has to
same
be-
time. I think
Yeah.
I was getting around 50 frames a second streaming.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm sure with some tweaks and changes I can get it up there. You know, who needs
Yeah.
who needs ultimate like freaking shadow detail or volumetric lighting or that bullshit that, you know, just kills your frame rate. You just turn it down a little bit.
This
You
guy.
barely notice the difference.
No, Ultra or nothing, baby.
Well, we may as
I'm
well,
just kidding.
May as
like,
well
dude,
throw our computers out the window then.
Yeah, no. I mean, I do like to be able to play on Ultra, but I know the original Wildlands has a bunch of Nvidia like specific
This
stuff.
one has all AMD stuff in it.
That's hilarious. So I know in Wildlands, if I turn it on Ultra, it turns a bunch of the Nvidia stuff on, and it just tanks
It's like
my
bleh.
performance. But if I go to the very high, so one back from Ultra, it runs fine, and it's great. It's mainly just those like Nvidia specific tweaks that they do that turn on in Ultra that kill my frame rate. So yeah, no, I know this is a like, what do they call it, like engineered with like AMD or whatever it is, but so but yeah, I look forward to hearing
I like
more.
what I played. Like it was just I felt like such a badass like sniping guys. I picked the sharpshooter class.
You don't have any like teammates in this though, hey? Like none of the AI teammates and stuff like in Wildlands,
at least
right?
Not yet.
I don't like yeah, I guess I can't say because like neither one of us have played much past like that initial bit.
The intro, basically. Yeah, I
Pretty much
love the way it looks. I like the way it feels. I love the tone, just this military. I think it's so cool. Like I like the whole bad ghost. Like it's got a cool premise, a cool world they've built. Like compared to the other Ghost Recon, like I had a lot of fun with Wildlands. Wildlands was just silly shooting people. I just love the tone of this being more of a realistic military type shooter. It seems like, you know.
I was a little worried initially when I saw like their videos and stuff, and they were going on about like their survival stuff and like, oh, you're gonna have to eat and like you're gonna have to set your bones and like all that kind of stuff. And I was like,
have
oh
to take
man,
shit in the forest.
yeah, and then you're gonna use that shit to kill people. Oh wait, that's a different game. But I was a little worried about that initially because I was like, oh man, that could really like, it's not. I'm not sure that's what I want out of that type of game. But it sounds like they've kind of done a healthy mix of sort of making sure that doesn't get in the like way of the gameplay too much. So,
and it
I'll be
literally
curious when
has
the
like
game-
loot boxes in the game, like randomized loot. Like there's chests on the map with I guess it's randomized loot, right?
I won't lie, it felt kind of weird the first time. Like I opened a chest and there was like level 2 boots or whatever, and I was just level 2 Arctic combat boots. I was like, all right, well, I guess I got to put those on. Like it felt a little weird, but like I said, they're going a lot more into that sort of MMO / division. Like it felt very much like they took the first Wildlands and then they took the division and they were like squish.
Yeah,
and then they kind of tweak a bunch after that, but that's a lot more what it felt like, because it's not that like cover based shooting like in the division, right? Like where you're not just hiding behind cover and cover and cover, but it's also like, you know, the leveling from the division is there, and like the gear that you're getting and like that stuff's all leveling up, and you know, the enemies have levels now and like all of that kind of stuff, right?
I really liked what I played so far. I like the old Wildlands a lot. We had a blast.
Same.
And I just think so
like
far
you said,
this one
stupid fun.
This one seems like I just like the serious tone.
Yeah,
I like the menus. I like I like randomized loot and gear. Like fuck, I play Destiny. Like
you're Destiny.
This shit's like right up my alley. The only thing is, I wish Shadowkeep wasn't freaking out so I could play more of this. Then I got stupid Borderlands 3 too. Jesus Christ, all these loot-based shooters. These schluters are up my pewter. It's just like, it's a fucking disaster.
The schluters are taking over, buddy.
The schluters are taking over.
Yeah.
I haven't. The Twitch chat reminded me that apparently some of the monetization in this game is bad. I did see some like negative posts out there.
Oh, really?
But I haven't got far enough to have anything to say about that.
Fair enough.
But, you know, Ubisoft gave me the game. They gave me all the unlocks. I have all the awesome dope gear. So I don't see anything wrong with it.
Yeah, seems fine.
I'm just being sarcastic, obviously. No, I just got the game. I didn't get no fucking money or anything to freaking buy loot. So I will report back on if it's good or bad once I understand how the systems work, because I have no fucking idea. I literally just played the intro of the game because I got the code late on Monday. And then Destiny 2 is out. And then, I probably would have played more, but I was playing some Borderlands. I was streaming some Borderlands 3 on Monday night with Teacup, so before I played this, so.
Cool.
And
and what's this other thing on here?
Oh,
is this really a game that you've been playing?
Yeah, it is a game.
Are you sure that this shouldn't be down in our like who gives a shit?
I played Cuphead in my Tesla. Tesla version 10 came out. Well, it came out I think it started rolling out to.
So now your car can hit people in parking lots all by itself.
Yeah. There's it is an update deserving of a version 10, like of a big number, which is pretty sweet. There's like a lot of stuff they added. Mm-hmm. One of those additions was the addition of Cuphead and the ability to play that in your car. It has the whole first world. It plays perfectly.
So how do you play it?
You plug in a 360 controller and a USB of the car.
Okay.
I don't know if you can. I don't think you can pair controllers wirelessly yet. I'm sure
Bluetooth.
Yeah, I'm sure. Excuse me. It might be something that's coming. I don't know, or if it's even possible. I don't know if the car's Bluetooth is capable of that. Who knows? But, it's freaking.
So not the whole game though, just the first world.
The first world, and I beat the first stage, and that may or may not have anything to do with why we started a little late, because I was totally not in the car playing this before I came downstairs, and that's why I needed 5 more minutes.
You're an idiot.
After I beat the first stage, it's like, hey, play the full game on all these platforms, and then it's got like a screen of like Xbox, Switch.
So it was essentially a demo.
Yeah, it's a glorified demo, because the first the first world is pretty big. There's like quite a few stages.
Buy a really expensive car. Play the first world, and hopefully you buy it on other platforms. Like,
I wonder if they'll release the rest of the game. That would be kind of sweet.
Yeah, I don't know.
So that was cool. Surround sound in the car playing Cuphead. Really neat. I guess if I'm bored waiting for my wife or kid, I got something to do.
There you go.
Other big parts of the update, they added Netflix and YouTube and Spotify. So that's kind of cool to have that built in.
Can you like play that while you're moving? Like,
no.
Okay.
Of course
I didn't think so.
I saw Gary Whitta post on Twitter. He's like, apparently I could watch Netflix in my car now. But he's got a Model X, so it looks terrible because the screen in the Model X is like portrait orientation. So like it's a huge screen
Yeah.
but it's like the wrong orientation. So it's
Right.
like he's watching Netflix and it's like takes up like a quarter of the screen with gigantic
top.
black
Yeah.
bars on the top and bottom, and I'm like, ugh. Whereas the nice thing on the Model 3 is our screen is 16 by 9, proper aspect ratio. So I was watching some trailers on YouTube just to test it out. I didn't load up Netflix, and it's got a
Right.
browser now, which was like a premium feature. That's the real cool thing about the Teslas. I'm just going to say, like, if you have a high-end Tesla, like, you get all these extra features, like some of the extra software stuff. But, like, my buddy told me this when he got his. He's like, yeah, like, the people who buy the high-end stuff, they get all the cool stuff first. But he said a lot of
Then
that
we get it
stuff,
later.
like, rolls down to the other models. And it's like, it's true.
Yeah.
Like, I have a browser now. That wasn't part of... I could have bought the browser upgrade and the maps upgrade. But, like, why
Wow.
would I? I don't need that shit, right?
You have
And
a
now he
cell
just-
phone? Like,
Well, exactly. So why would I pay more for... Like, it comes with navigation, right?
yeah.
What do I need satellite view in my navigation for and a browser on my screen for? I don't.
I don't
So
know.
why would you pay extra? So now that shit's there now for free.
Cool.
So like that's kind of cool. A cool big screen web browser if you're sitting there waiting again.
I
Buy a
mean, you're
Tesla.
either
They're
gonna use
fucking
the battery in your phone, or you're gonna use the battery in your car.
Hey, it's a
Either way,
huge
you're
battery.
bringing in a battery.
Just like I'm telling you, buy a Tesla. It's the most expensive video game console on the planet. And it's amazing.
Yeah.
Hit me up if you need my referral code. Free
Such a
supercharger
show.
miles for everybody.
Should we get into the news?
Yeah, after I remind everyone to subscribe and donate to the channel because I need to pay for the Tesla. Just kidding, obviously.
He's not.
Yeah,
let's
okay.
get into the
That's
news.
I played some more Link's Awakening and Borderlands 3.
Yeah, we don't care about Borderlands 3.
Seventh dungeon in Link's Awakening.
You haven't beat it yet, right?
No.
Do you have anything new to talk about?
Borderlands 3, I got some cool legendary weapons.
Again, nobody cares.
Oh, I was at EB Games today. You should check your EB Games. This is a public service announcement. They had these cards for like 3 golden keys. You see that? I won't show, but on the back there's a code for 3 golden keys. I might give those away because people love the golden keys.
All right.
So if you're into Borderlands 3, check your EB Games. It was just sitting there in a stack. I asked if I could take 3. I should have just taken the whole stack like I normally do.
Can we get into the news now?
Sure. The news. The news and stuff. News.
Jesus Christ, man. Put a fucking camera in front of you and, like, you cannot stay on fucking track at all.
I'm on track. I just ham it up a little more.
Jesus Christ. Oh, my God.
Love it.
Oh, yeah, it's the best.
So last week in the beautiful city of Los Angeles, Sony had a Last of Us 2 event. A bunch of people gave us their impressions.
For, like, the 20th time.
Like, it's fucking awesome. It's amazing. The game's dope. A lot of yada, yada, yada. Talking about
We got a
some
release date.
new stuff. Yeah, we talked about the release date last week.
Yeah.
Because that was at the state of play. But the impressions, like, embargo lifted after we recorded.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that came out of it was that there's no multiplayer. So some people are disappointed. You know, most people with single player games are pissed off that there's a multiplayer game. They're like, oh, fucking multiplayer. There's a fucking single player game. You get your multiplayer out of my single player story driven narrative video game.
Wait,
So
the
everyone-
internet was upset about something?
Yeah. And then now
Is
it's
that
the
like-
opposite. Everyone's upset that there's no multiplayer. But that being said, and this story comes from IGN by Matt Kim. Naughty Dog put an announcement on Twitter, and they're like, we wanted to address multiplayer in The Last of Us 2. As we've stated, the single-player campaign is far and away the most ambitious project Naughty Dog has ever undertaken. Likewise, his development began on the evolution of our factions mode from The Last of Us Part 1, which I never played, but people fucking love that mode. Apparently it's pretty dope. It's a lot of fun.
Sure.
The vision of the team grew beyond an additional mode that could be included with our enormous single-player campaign. That's all good. Enormous single-player campaign. I like that. Wanting to support both visions, we made the difficult choice that The Last of Us 2 would not include an online mode. However, you will eventually experience the fruits of our team's online ambition, but not as part of The Last of Us Part 2. When and where it will be realized is still to be determined, but rest assured, we are as big a fan of factions as the rest of our community and are excited to share more when it's ready. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We had bigger
AKA,
ambitions for our multiplayer mode. They were too big to fit in this because our single player mode is fucking enormous. So instead of compromising, we're focusing on this, but we got some dope shit we want to do with the multiplayer mode that we're potentially going to do something with down the road.
Right.
Whether it's a retail game or a giant free update next year, who knows?
I have a sneaky suspicion this sounds an awful lot like either it's going to be spun out into its own thing, or they're going to be utilizing this on something else later. I doubt that this is going to be an update down the road, because that is not, like, literally, that is what he said, not as part of The Last of Us Part 2. Like, that to me reads no multiplayer in The Last of Us Part 2.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I could care less, because that is definitely not what I think I played the multiplayer a tiny bit.
I never played the multiplayer once.
Not in The Last of Us. I've never even played The Last of Us. So,
you're talking about Uncharted.
Yeah, I played a tiny bit, and I think Uncharted 2, and that was it. And I was like, yep, this is a third-person multiplayer game with on my PS3
that I don't want to play.
Sure, it was fine. You know what I mean? Like, it with so many other great multiplayer games, like, it just didn't feel like, it just felt like one of the old school thing where they, we built a single player awesome game and it has to have multiplayer because it has to have multiplayer. And so, yeah, so to me, like, sure, cool. The Last of Us Part 2 doesn't have multiplayer. All right. Moving on with my life.
Yeah, I'm not upset. I'm really excited, especially considering how
I understand if you were a huge fan of it in the last game that you're disappointed it's not coming out. Like, I get that. But I am not one of those people, so I don't care.
Especially considering how many people or how people are really upset about it. It's like, I don't, whatever, man. It's like, I'm happy that they're focused on the single player, and I'm happy that we're gonna see something out of out of the multiplayer down the road. So that's awesome. Yeah. But it's funny. It's the total opposite of what people would be mad about in the past. Because in the past, everyone got, you compromised my single player game for multiplayer. Die in hell. Murder your family. Burn down your house. You know what I mean? It's just...
like I said, the internet is always upset about something. You're never going to make them happy.
Being the internet. I think it's cool. I'm excited. Fuck, I can't wait for Last of Us 2 next year.
In other news, Twitch got a UI update, allowing for more channel customization. Coming from Julia Lee over at Polygon.
Yeah.
Apparently there was a big update. I can't say I'm a huge fan of the way the site looks now.
No.
But luckily they do have a dark theme, but they also have a light theme. You can change a bunch of stuff. It's allowing.
I put this story in here not so much that I care about that stuff, but there was a bunch of announcements at TwitchCon, especially for your fresh up and coming newest affiliate, fastest growing channel on Twitch right now.
That's
Geekoholics. Twitch.tv/Geekoholics. Apparently, like, affiliates are going to get ad revenue and stuff, like, from the ads, which is pretty freaking cool. Like, that's a bunch of partner perks are rolling down at affiliates, which is really sweet.
So then what are they doing with the partners? Like,
I don't know. You get a cool icon next to your name. You get a purple hoodie. You get invited to the Twitch party.
All right.
I don't know.
There you go. It's just, it's interesting.
Just cool. I just thought that was kind of neat. Just more stuff. It just seems like the competition is being like, oh, we got to treat everyone better. We got to do better. It was like a lot of the stuff that came out of it that I saw with how they how they treat their streamers and their community, and then just rolling out more features, to people like us who are, one day it would be freaking awesome to make a living at this and quit our full-time jobs and be freaking streamers like the rest of these other clowns who get paid playing video games.
You do realize that would make you a clown playing video games,
I
right?
want to be a clown who plays video games for a living.
You say that.
I say it.
Be careful what you wish for.
Be careful what you wish for. Well, I'm wishing for it.
There you go.
But yeah, these little changes to help tiny channels like us out is pretty cool. I'm all for it.
Yeah, no.
Then I can spam the channel with ads and force everyone to support us.
It hurts.
Moving along.
Respawn is making a new Medal of Honor game in VR.
Yeah, this came out of that Oculus thing, but we didn't talk about it last week.
Yeah, this story comes from Colin Campbell over at Polygon. Medal of Honor Above and Beyond is, I honestly think that is a terrible name for a video game, but is coming to the Oculus Rift in 2020. Now, this is interesting because like they've really come full circle on this, eh? Like the guys, so if, like for anybody out there who's not old like we are, Respawn is a bunch of guys that used to be at Infinity Ward, which used to be at a studio before that, and they actually were the guys that created Medal of Honor, and then went on to create Call of Duty, and then went on to create Titanfall, and now they're going back and creating Medal of Honor again. Kind of interesting.
VR.
Yeah, in VR.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did.
I think it
is
looks
going
cool.
back to World War II. It's set in the Western European theater. Obviously, you're playing like first person. You're playing in VR. You can pick stuff up. Go watch the video. It's really neat.
I love the old Medal of Honor games. The original few.
Yeah, they were really good.
They were fantastic with the awesome soundtrack. They had wicked music. They were cool. They were good world. That was before everyone was burnt out on World War II shooters.
Yes. Did you ever play Airborne? That one was neat because you'd actually parachute into the maps and stuff. And
I played all of them,
cool.
except for the more recent ones where they were trying to chase Call of Duty and stuff. The ones that were bad.
The last one was genuinely bad.
I think the
single player was kind of interesting, but the one before that, actually, I really actually enjoyed.
Did you like
quite
it?
a bit.
I don't think I played that one.
I've played them all.
I haven't played any of the modern ones.
Yeah, there was the one that was just called Modern, or just called Call of Duty, or Call of Duty. Jesus, it's just called Medal of Honor, and that was the like tier 1 one. And I think it was a little bit self-serious, but I thought that the gameplay, like the single player, was actually pretty good, and actually I really thought the multiplayer was quite good. So, but it's hard because I was right around the time that like Call of Duty was probably at the peak, right? So it's like you got to pick one or the other, you know?
Yeah. Can't play both of them.
Yeah.
You got to choose your camp.
This is interesting. They haven't said whether or not this is going to be coming to anything outside of Oculus.
I think it's a exclusive, I believe, Facebook's
I'm pretty sure you're right.
Rift has got a big investment in this, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah, like go check out the video. It's really neat. It looks like they're doing a lot of really cool things. They're talking about like a full single player campaign, like 6 to 8 hours, like a proper one.
Full first person shooter campaign, not an experienced shooting gallery nonsense.
Exactly. And they're actually doing a full multiplayer mode as well. So there you go. An actual video game coming out in VR. Look at that.
Yeah, so when Respawn was asked about whether it was coming to other consoles, they ducked the question, saying the company's only focused on the Rift for now.
Right. So like I said, chances are it probably won't, but you never know.
The language here is they didn't say exclusive.
They didn't say no.
They didn't say no, and they didn't say exclusive, because if it was super locked down, they would have just said that. I'm pretty sure
they would have been like,
said that out straight out, right? Looks neat. I think it looks cool for a VR shooter.
No, absolutely. It looks rad.
Bloodstain's Troubled Switch port should finally get patched by the end of November. When did Bloodstain come out? Like last year?
Earlier this year?
I'm obviously exaggerating.
Yes.
Because that's how long it feels, because we've both beaten it. Hey, that's a game we both beat this year.
Yeah.
We actually beat games once in a while.
It happens from time to time.
Bloodstained is awesome.
Is that the first? Is that the only game so far this year that we have both finished? I think it might be.
I beat Resident Evil 2 remake.
Yeah.
Both campaigns.
It's too scary. I can't play it at night before I go to bed.
We both beat Anthem.
We did actually. You're right.
We didn't do a lot of end game, but we beat it.
We did both beat the story.
The story mode.
Yeah. Anyways, apparently this is Eurogamer from Matt Wales. Bloodstained is this is hilarious. Its troubled Switch port is going to get a patch by the end of November. But it doesn't actually say like this is going to address like everything. Like they're saying so 505 Games pledged to fix these issues, telling fans that it was immediately shifting resources to improve performance and stability for the Switch, and that it would be addressing problem areas through a series of small updates. That was in August. They confirmed that work was still ongoing, and they would now bundle performance improvements into likely one patch, although no ETA was forthcoming. So now they're saying that it hopes to have its fixes released by the end of November. They will be arriving in two separate updates, the first addressing the bulk of the problems and the second improving performance for especially troublesome areas and enemies.
If they got the game running well and they addressed it, it was going to look sharper as well.
Yeah.
If they get it running well and it looks better, I might double dip because I would love to play that on Switch. Like,
so you would
if you guys remember, I bought it on Switch. I got a refund.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Like, I just said this game sucks, and they gave me my money back on the store. I barely played it, so I don't know how often.
I mean, the game is rad as hell.
The game is rad. I just didn't.
It needs to be played when the frame rate is better, and it doesn't look
like hot
awful.
garbage.
Yeah.
So that's good news. 4 months.
That's awesome.
That's kind of sucks that it took so long. I will say, actually, speaking of patches and improving performance, Borderlands 3 had its first big patch last week. And remember how I was complaining about how aiming down sights caused the game to like hitch up a bit? Because like all the guns have like stupid animated like sights for some reason.
Yep.
They seem to have like really improved the frame rate in that game.
That's good.
Like, I've definitely noticed improvement.
Needed it.
It's not perfect, but it's like a lot better.
So apparently Ryan said that changes to backgrounds and environment rendering would result in noticeably sharper environments in most areas, and that load times between scenes were already greatly improved, although still not where we would like them to be. Additionally, hundreds of particle effects have been reworked, with more still to come, with the new versions much less impactful on the performance of the game. These, said Ryan, were one of the main culprits for frame rate drops during fights. Lastly, ongoing work was said to have already resulted in a significant improvement in input lag, that the game should feel much more reactive when playing. That's good, because,
absolutely.
Bloodstained needed
I look
it
forward to hearing more about that.
Yeah.
Speaking of Borderlands 3 and shitty stuff, Troy Baker didn't star in Borderlands 3 because Gearbox wouldn't go union. Gearbox and SAG-AFTRA respond, it was simply a matter they wouldn't go union. You never go 100% union. This story from IGN by Adam Bankhurst. Basically, some people asked Troy Baker, like, hey, why weren't you in Borderlands 3? They had your character Reese in pretty big part of the campaign. Actually, I just finished that part of the campaign. I never played Tales of the Borderlands, and that's where he voices a character, Reese, who apparently Tales of the Borderlands is supposed to be really awesome story-wise for the Borderlands world. And the character Reese plays is apparently a really cool character that like a lot of people really like. So one, he was done a little bit of a disservice in that he didn't voice act them. Two, apparently they fucking kind of the story with people who are familiar with the character. To me, I don't know who he is because I didn't play Tales of the Borderlands. He's just like another shitty throwaway Borderlands character as far as I was concerned. So I wasn't really upset because I don't know how great he potentially is or was in this other Borderlands game. So people were like, "Oh, Troy, why didn't you do it?" And people are kind of blaming that's why it sucked. Anyway, Troy
Right.
Baker, being the giant voice actor that he is, he's union, and he holds a
Yeah.
little bit of sway. He was in
I think
talks with Gearbox to voice the character, and they just couldn't come to an agreement to get him to voice the character. He wasn't in a
yeah.
band. He could have been in the game, but he is like tried and true. I'm part of the union. I'm not taking the gig unless they make a union deal.
Right.
He could have voiced the character. There was nothing stopping him from voicing the character. Like the state that the Borderlands Gearbox is in doesn't enforce union actors or voice actors or whatever. So he could have done it because people are like, "Oh, but Ashley was in it, and she's a SAG-AFTRA, a unionized voice actor." Well, you know what? She's not as big as Troy, so she probably doesn't have the luxury of turning work down. Where he has the power to make this a story to bring awareness to union workers, the union plight, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, it didn't work out. He was upset. He's upset about it, but it is what it is. And there's been a little bit of a back and forth. I think Gearbox has been kind of fucking shitty about it, to say the truth. But it's not surprising because they've replaced a bunch of voice actors with falling outs with employees. And
I think them, like Randy on Twitter being like, "Oh yeah, we asked him and he didn't want to do it," is more or less what he said. Like, his whole thing is like, "Oh yeah, we wanted him to do it, but he couldn't do it."
Missing some information.
Yeah, and so naturally, or sorry, Pitchford claimed that he was told by the audio director that Baker turned it down, is what ended up happening, right? And so, some fans asked Troy about it, and he more or less was like, so he was asked, and he said, so they came to me and they were like, "Do you want to do this?" Which I said, absolutely. And then they made it impossible for me to do the role. It had nothing to do with money, and it had nothing to do with money.
That's a typo.
They just simply would not go about doing it in the way that we needed it to be done. So then I was like, then it was like, well, I never said no. Like it didn't work out.
Yeah.
And then of course somebody like asked him for a statement. VG 24/7 asked for further clarification, and Baker literally responded it was because Gearbox wouldn't go union. Because they asked, is that like, did that mean scheduling conflicts or something else? And he said, no, it was simply a matter of they wouldn't go union, he replied, and I can't do a non-union gig. Without getting too deep into the woods on that, we had long conversations about this. We always knew going into it that this was going to be the thing. They were going to take these characters and put them from the Tales, from the Borderlands series, from Telltale, into the Borderlands proper. I've been waiting for this call. They were like, "Do you want to do this?" And I said, "Yes." They never, because they would never move from that position. I'm not mad. It's invariably a completely different character, but it still stings. And then of course, like since then, Gearbox has sent over a statement, which is kind of ridiculous. They go about like, I'll just read the statement. Gearbox sent over IGN that said, Troy is an exceptional talent, and we were disappointed that he declined to partner on Borderlands 3 after being offered the part. We wished him the best and hope he knows the offer to collaborate with him still stands. Gearbox is a Texas company and is bound by Texas law, which means that a person cannot be denied employment because of membership or non-membership in a labor union or other labor organization. As a talent-owned and talent-led organization, Gearbox enthusiastically works to ensure our pay and working conditions meet or exceed union standards. We also believe strongly in hiring local voice actors whenever we can, which is why we're thrilled Troy's career really took off after working with us.
That's such a fucking unneeded statement. Like,
right?
Get fucked, Gearbox.
Like it comes across as very, very arrogant. Oh, well, we don't need to because we're in Texas, and I don't know. It's like whatever. I'm not gonna.
Well, they're trying to divert that. Well, we didn't deny him the employment,
right?
Well, no, you didn't deny him the employment, but you didn't meet his requirement of being a union.
Working with
now,
the union.
I don't know what that requires. Like, I don't know if that means a different. It obviously means a pay structure, a benefit structure, a working conditions stuff. Like there's no like you're not working 14-hour days on voices. You know,
Well,
there's
and that's
all
the funny
like,
thing. So the SAG, which is the Screen Actors Guild of America and Federation of blah blah blah, they then sent IGN a response in response to Gearbox's response. And their statement says, "We are fully aware of the anti-labor right to work for less laws that help explain why Texas has more minimum wage workers than any state in the union. Employers in Texas and other rights to work for less states nonetheless routinely work under SAG-AFTRA agreements with no legal obstacles at all. To the extent that Gearbox statement reflects legitimate ignorance, Gearbox could easily have asked that question during their discussions with SAG-AFTRA, which they did not. If indeed Gearbox meets or exceeds our contract standards in their treatment of performers, which we highly doubt, it would have cost them nothing to sign the union's agreement and retain the original cast of their game. While SAG-AFTRA does not comment on member discipline matters, we observe that SAG-AFTRA members who work for certain non-union employers not only deprive themselves of the benefits of a union agreement, they lower the standards for all their peers and facilitate the abuse and exploitation of performers."
yeah. So
So
at the end of the day, Troy's powerful enough that he doesn't have to put up with shit, and he stands by his guns. And he's like, I'm union all the way. I'm not union at my convenience, you know, to protect myself. I'm union all the time for everyone's benefit.
yeah, I
The
think
trade's
that this
benefit
is,
as a whole.
that's the thing. I think that this is a statement of him saying, like, look, I stand with other people. Like, if everybody, you know, if everybody that's part of a union just does a whole bunch of work whenever the hell they want, etc.,
What's the
etc.,
point of a union?
there you go. It takes it exactly.
Because if
so
you
him-
did this gig as non-union, you got less pay. That's the bottom line.
yeah,
Non-union construction workers, almost half the wage of a union worker. That's
Yeah.
not to say they're less qualified or they're not as good workers, but you know that lower wage comes at a cost. Probably no health care, probably no other benefits, you know, probably abuse with overtime or no overtime. The fear of like, hey, I can just fire you because you ain't got no fucking union. You just do what I say if you want to keep your bloody job, which is like all kinds of like abuse from bosses, you know. Anyway,
Yep.
I love him for sticking to his guns as a union man myself, and I think it's great. And I really think it's shitty that Gearbox had that fucking statement at the end, like
yeah. I think
trying to belittle Troy. And it's like, no, you know what? From the top of your company, over and over again, you just demonstrated that you just got some really shitty actors in your company, and that sucks.
it really
Kinda pisses
sucks
me off.
because stuff like this makes me not want to play Gearbox
well,
games.
it makes me mad that I bought the game because it's like,
And like it sucks because there's a lot of people that work at that studio that are good people. You know what I mean? And
no,
like,
absolutely.
And I hate
But the people,
I
at
hate
the
that the
top,
people at the top, as of late, have been so shitty,
doing so much
just-
damage.
and it just like at this point I have zero interest in buying Borderlands. Like there was like when it first came out, there was a little part of me that was like, maybe like if I catch it on a sale or if it's like everybody's playing it, but like at this point I have like no interest. And then with friggin' Gearbox and these guys being idiots about so many different things, it just makes my desire even less, which sucks because like I said, there's so many people that work at that studio that I'm sure they're reading these statements and going just like, oh
Yeah, they're
my
just like,
God, what are you
face
doing? You know, like it. So I feel bad for them, but you know, I
love Troy for sticking to his
get with
guns,
Troy.
man. That's
Yeah,
all I have to say.
exactly.
That's awesome. Fuck Gearbox. Borderlands 3 sucks. Actually, it's still kind of fun, but still, they suck. Moving along. Death Stranding. What's that?
Death Stranding.
Death Stranding's jar baby can speak through PS4 controller speaker. The story
This
from
isn't creepy at all.
from IGN. Joseph Knoop? Coop? Joseph Koopa. That's it.
Nope.
No, Knoop. I guess it's a K silent, right?
Probably.
Kind of like Knight. Knoop. Knoop. Yeah, sounds good.
Anyways.
Yeah, Kojima was just on Twitter saying how that you can have the BB's voice come out of the controller, which is kind of cool, kind of neat, kind of freaky, kind of weird. It's not surprising. Tons of games do cool thing. I love the speaker on the PS4 when sounds and stuff come out of it. I
Like
think
the
it's so
controller,
neat.
you mean?
Yeah, the
I think
controller.
it's neat. Yeah, I
like
think it's cool.
like radio communications or like little alerts and stuff. I love it. It's like, oh yeah, this thing has a speaker. That's fucking cool.
The Astrobot, when you like pull them into the
Yeah,
controller and
yeah,
they're like
yeah.
talking
It's
out of the controller, so
just
it
like
feels
another
like they're
level.
actually
It's
in
another
there.
level of immersion. It's kind of neat.
Yeah.
I like it.
That said, I still think it's creepy.
Well, what's a baby in a jar full of fluid really gonna say?
Fuck man, Kojima. He's going full Kojima.
He's going. This game is gonna be a disaster or a fucking masterpiece. There's no in between. It's one or the other. There's no gray area on this one. It's our minds are gonna get blown. Humanity's gonna get like transferred to another level, or it's gonna be just a dumpster fire.
Or it's going to be one of those games where there's going to be a group of people that are going to absolutely love it, and there's going to be another group of people that are going to absolutely hate it, and there's not going to be anybody in the middle.
Yeah, I'm still excited to play it.
Mm-hmm.
But
your next story seems to be broken, so I don't know if that was a story that wasn't supposed to be posted, and somebody removed it.
Huh. Okay, I guess we can delete it. This is a story about Bungie's apparently going to have another franchise out by the end of 2025 that isn't Destiny.
Yeah.
It's kind of neat.
I don't know. Be cool to see them sort of quote unquote unleashed, you know.
Well, they are now.
They're
They're their own bosses, man. They can go 100% Bungie.
Sweet.
Well, since that's
that
broken,
even mean at this point?
What's that?
I said, what does that even mean at this point?
I don't know.
I mean, what did Bungie? I mean, they did a ton of stuff before
Halo?
Before they did Halo.
Marathon?
I wonder what a marathon game would look like now.
I have no idea.
It's been years since I played Marathon.
Destiny is just Marathon.
Kind of, yeah.
Moving along.
Moving on.
If my outline wasn't broken with that story, we'd have more to say, but whatever. Nintendo news. New Brain Age announced for Nintendo Switch. In Japan. No
word on whether or not this is coming over here.
Yeah, I don't if you guys remember DS or Brain Age on DS. It was kind of fun. Writing games, memory games, made you smarter. Stopped your brain, extended your life, stopped your brain from rotting. Gave you superpowers.
Yeah. Apparently the last one was Brain Age Concentration Training on the 3DS in 2012.
It didn't do any of that. But it was kind of funny. You did like the tests and the quiz, like math and verbal and stuff like that. And then at the end, it would like give you an age depending on your how quick or slow you were. You're 54. And you're like, oh. Wait.
That's funny.
Well, that's kind of neat.
Cool
I'm sure that's going to come here. It did quite well in North America. My guess is that's going to be a spring next year game.
Word.
Nintendo's week-old Switch Lite added to Joy-Con drift lawsuit. Oh boy.
So apparently in July, they filed a class action lawsuit against Nintendo, alleging that Nintendo knew about a design defect in the Switch's controllers and has failed to correct or even acknowledge the problem. This story coming from Gizmodo, from Elise Stanley.
I just got my fixed one back.
Yeah.
I haven't tested it to see if it's fixed. It just looked like a new controller to me.
The issue causes the Joy-Con's analog control stick to register input, even though you're not touching it.
Yeah, it's
which
really
could
annoying.
Be a real problem. And apparently this has started cropping up now on the new Switch Lite, which unfortunately in this case, you can't just slide the controller off and send it in for replacement. You actually have to freaking send your whole system in, which really sucks. But yeah, some people are saying like they put only like 20 or so hours in and it's already starting to show Joy-Con drift. So it looks like, yeah. So no real indication yet that indicates how widespread this problem is being. I
saw a video that was posted of the one guy's system. it makes me seriously consider purchasing the limited edition Pokemon-y one until
They
maybe
fix
there's a
this.
revision, or maybe
Yeah.
that guy just had a bunk joystick. I don't know. It kind of scares me.
The guys over at Gizmodo have reached out to Nintendo, but Nintendo has not immediately responded.
What? No way.
I know. Yeah, I mean, I'm
I
not really
hope
surprised by
it's.
this.
I hope it's not the same
I'm just
issue.
amazed they haven't like how many people have been making joysticks? There's been joysticks in the Wii U, there was joysticks in the Vita, there was there's been so many joysticks, and outside of joysticks that have been used super hard years later, this
Joysticks
is not a
used
problem.
super hard.
Always, you got to wiggle them.
Well, that was the problem with my joystick. I just,
Yeah,
used
you
it
played
way
it
too hard.
Yeah, I know.
So I broke it right
But
off.
honestly, like I don't understand what the problem like. And again, I'm not an engineer. I haven't ripped the Joy-Con.
It
Like I
must just
haven't
be
ripped the
poorly
Switch apart.
designed that dust or shit's getting in there. And it's just
Yeah, I don't know.
it's registering on the contact in the board that it's like getting.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know.
It
Like
is
I said,
weird.
without ripping it apart and diving into it, like I don't know.
That sucks.
It's
It
yeah.
makes me really weary of buying a Switch Lite. I want one, but now I'm kind of like, "Ugh, I don't want one because I've experienced drift, and drift is fucking terrible.
Yeah,
Especially with a
super
controller you
crappy.
can't just pull off and replace. That's kind of game breaking. The last thing I want to do is send my freaking whole console in to Nintendo.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know what's gonna happen. They're gonna wipe it and send you back a refurb.
I don't care about them sending me a refurb, but it's just like, hey, what if I get one with a perfect screen and then they send me on a refurbed one that has dead pixels? Like I'm gonna
That is
fucking
exactly
cry.
the problem with a refurb. Like,
I'm gonna cry.
so then you do have a problem with a refurb.
Nintendo, fix this shit. Come on, get your act together so I
Yeah.
can buy a Pokemon Switch Lite.
Or maybe in that case, don't fix your shit.
Looks like I might
Um,
might be waiting for a Switch Pro.
I don't know what's going on over at Sony, man. But
A lot of people don't know what's going on with Shoney.
Shoney, over at Shoney. IGN dropped this story by Matt Kim. Sony Worldwide Studios head Sean Layden is leaving PlayStation. According to GamesIndustry.biz, Sony Interactive Entertainment Japan Asia president Atsushi Morita also retired yesterday. So they both walked away. Neither has had a successor been named, which is kind of interesting. The official PlayStation Twitter just announced that Sean Layden
Just out of the
is
blue
leaving.
with such little
Yeah.
fanfare.
It is with great emotion that we announce that Worldwide Studio Chairman Sean Layden will be departing SIE. His visionary leadership will be greatly missed. We wish him success in future endeavors and are deeply grateful for his years of service. Thanks for everything, Sean. Dude, this guy's been at Sony since 1987. 1987.
It's quite strange. I was listening and reading stuff around the internet, and with most departures, like when Reggie left Nintendo came out with a big statement. They did a bye-bye video. Thank you for your time and all this stuff. And this was just like, meh. And then he came out with no statement, and everyone's kind of like,
what's going on over there?
Interesting.
Like, this is
just such little fanfares for such a giant figure at Sony.
He was the guy that was coming out on stage and talking and announcing, and like last year.
Yeah, he was at the E3, the last E3 that Sony was at, that I was at. I stood next to him. He was 5 feet in front of me in that Last of Us church.
He was the one that stood up with Sony, Nintendo, and Microsoft at the Video Game Awards last year, and they all, for the first time, shared a stage. That was friggin' Sean Layden. He was and I know that Sony is changing in a lot of ways. I know back, what was it, in 2014, Layden succeeded Jack Tretton as president and CEO of Sony Computer Entertainment America. But then they did a bunch of restructuring, and that job actually went away. And then they brought but then he had sort of a different job. It was it's kind of like, so it's a very, it just makes you wonder like what's kind of going on over at Sony is what makes me, like I'm seeing two sides of this thing. Like there's
What's
either
going
something going
on?
on because he is not the first big person to be
No,
leaving
like
Sony
all the
this
top
year.
guys have been jumping ship over the last couple of years. Literally, like
Yeah.
all the big named guys are gone.
Yeah, exactly.
What do we got?
So either like this is a perfect time for them because the PlayStation 4 is big and it's doing its thing and they don't want to deal with sticking around for sort of another cycle with the PlayStation 5 and they thought it was a good time to get out, or something's going on and they're just like, you know what? I'm out, bitches.
It's
Catch you
Sony
later.
Japan being like, hey, we're so successful, we don't need all these expensive, annoying figureheads, and pare it down to just Japanese control.
I don't know.
Shuhei's still
Like
there. Maybe he's going to be running shit
he's not. Oh, sorry. Yes, Shuhei is. You're right.
in Japan, at least. Jim
yeah.
Ryan is pretty big figure. Like he's not known to us because he's from Sony Europe.
Yeah,
but then he's like the big boss now. So apparently,
yeah, exactly. Right.
I heard some chatter that him and a lot of North America didn't get along so much. Like what I heard,
the rumor
mill is that meanwhile, while Sony was taking a beating over in North America because of the fumbles of the PS3 was doing just fine in Europe.
Well, the funny thing is that a lot of people talk about the stumbles at the beginning of the PS3, but they also don't realize that.
Oh, they forget at the end it surpassed 360
by quite a bit
worldwide.
Worldwide, it sold significantly more than the Xbox 360.
But the image and the feeling on the street was that it was Xbox generation.
Right.
They had the better versions. They had the better online. Mm-hmm. They didn't have the $700. Got 2 jobs. Fuck you, player.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I've said before, I'm worried that Sony is starting to rear its head again, though, and I feel like with all these guys leaving now, is that Sony arrogance from Sony Japan?
A lot of those guys, to be honest, Dane, as good as Sony has been doing lately, a lot of that Sony these guys were around for.
Not in the positions that they're in, though.
Not in the same positions as true, but. Yeah. I don't know. Apparently, Jim Ryan has some beef with North America, and I don't know if it has something to do with him. Maybe there's just been, but clearly there must be butting heads behind the scene for all these talent to like leave when you're doing so well. It must not be an environment you want to be in, regardless of the doing so well and your job being very secure. If you don't like where you work because of the leadership, the environment toxicity, we will never know what's going on behind the scenes. You just fucking bounce. You're talented. Yeah. You can get a CEO executive job at any company. You probably have a blank check in this industry.
Also, like, I think
it sucks though.
You're not going to need the cash or whatever.
No, they're all fucking filthy rich guys. It sucks though, because
the other flip side is like he also might be looking at it from a perspective of like, there's nowhere else for him to go.
Yeah,
right?
They overlooked me for the position they gave Jim, and I said, you know what, fuck it, fuck you guys.
Like there's nowhere else for me to kind of move up in the company. Like
I've been here for
time for me to go off like since 1987.
Yeah, I've been here, and you guys didn't give me the role. That's what I wanted, and it's just like I'm done. There was some rumors thrown around that he might be going to Stadia, but I don't think so.
Be a good get for Stadia, I guess. Who knows? Maybe we'll see him over at Xbox.
You never know, man.
Yeah. Anything's possible.
PS4 crossplay features are reportedly out of beta. This story via Eurogamer, Matt Wales, once again. It's out of beta and now available to all developers. So I guess in beta it was only available to some developers. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, if your name was Activision or apparently Dauntless. No. Because those guys had it. Yeah. Well, they started it, I mean.
Now you got Call of Duty coming with it. Right. We need Borderlands 3 and effing Destiny 2, and then we're rocking.
Dude, I'm kind of amazed that Destiny 2 did not... Like when
I think their issue is with them breaking up with Activision and moving to Steam. They already had enough shit on their plate with the cross-save stuff and the platform change, and
You're probably right.
the new expansion launch. It's just like, hey, we got enough shit. Let's just make sure the place doesn't burn down when Shadowkeep comes out, and then we'll fucking deal with that. But I wish they had crossplay so I could play with some more of our listeners who aren't on PC.
Yeah,
because Destiny's the best game ever.
It's interesting too because like all the games that are crossplay, you got to log into a separate service to make them crossplay.
Yeah,
like that's always the interesting thing, right? Is like, you know, like with Dauntless, you're connecting to there's like, you know, the Epic services. Same with Fortnite, right?
Activision.
Exactly. You got to have an Activision account. Like it's so
Steam was on PS3.
Yeah,
Steam
that's
could
true.
Theoretically, be the backbone for all the crossplay.
Yeah, maybe. So
yeah, and
cool.
And Rocket League is also Epic too.
Yeah. Well, either way, it means that more crossplay games are coming, so that's exciting.
Yeah, so like literally all the crossplay games are Epic games. It's kind of funny, except for Call of Duty.
Yeah, Rocket League, Dauntless, Paladins, Fortnite. Cool.
That is cool. Come on, Destiny 2 and Borderlands, get your shit together.
I'm surprised Borderlands isn't, seeing as they're an Epic game as well.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
But anyways,
they're too busy insulting voice actors and firing people and leaving porn on USB sticks.
Yeah.
PlayStation Now, remember that awesome service?
Yeah, that's a thing.
They've cut the subscription. Now starts at $9.99 a month. And they added some big-ass bombs in the form of Grand Theft Auto 5, God of War, and more blockbuster games. Added it to this story from Grace Chen on the PlayStation blog. Yeah, essentially pretty Dude, big price cut.
This is pretty big. God of War, Infamous Second Son, and Uncharted 4 are now all playable, and you technically don't even need a PlayStation 4.
No, you can stream them on PC.
Exactly. That's wild, man.
And if you forget, PlayStation Now lets you install the games like Game Pass. So it's not just a streaming service.
Exactly.
Which was like a lot of people's hesitation to try this service.
You can only download them on PS4 though.
Yes, of course.
You can't download them on PC.
No.
Streaming only on PC.
But you can natively play these games on your PS4 now, which is pretty... Because a lot of people's apprehension with PlayStation Now was that, I don't want to fucking stream. Why would I want to stream the game? Yeah. Game Pass lets me just install the game.
Totally.
Well, guess what? Well, they caught up. That's old news. That was like last year, wasn't it?
Yes, that came out last year.
Started letting you install native games. Like, you still have to stream like PS3 stuff and older shit.
Yes. It's pretty wild though, man. They have over 800 games available on PlayStation Now.
Apparently, they have a huge subscription base too. Like,
yeah,
like it's a big moneymaker for Sony.
Smart.
That's cool. Now they're gonna upgrade it and do a PlayStation Plus Ultimate, and
dude, that is gonna be... So it's $12.99 Canadian, down from $20 a month Canadian.
It's huge.
So that's big. It's kind of funny how it used to be the same price as... It's funny. It's coming from $20 Canadian, but it was only $20 American. So they're also using this as an opportunity to
jack the exchange rate in there.
Put the exchange rate back in. Yeah.
Fuckers.
So yeah, so $12.99.
Fuck Sony, they suck. Burn them down. Shut it down. It's over.
So $12.99 Canadian or
crooks.
$9.99 US.
What's PlayStation Plus breakdown to a month? It's like $60 a year or something.
I think so. If they're a smart man, they do like a Game Pass Ultimate type thing, and
they could jack it up, give you a little bit of savings, $15.99 a month or $14.99 a month. I'm pretty. You know what?
Plus, man.
Probably seems like a no-brainer that it's gonna get to that.
PlayStation Plus.
Not. Yeah, I guess you don't want to go Ultimate. That's kind of like aping on Game Pass's thing.
Or would you do PlayStation Complete? Like, I don't know, like, or something like that.
I like the plus.
Me too. It'll never happen, but
it's dumb, but it's funny.
It's stupid in the best way.
That's about it for news, my friend.
Yeah.
Let's get in some public service announcements. Games with Gold for October were announced. We've got Tembo the Badass Elephant. Friday the 13th, the game. Those are your Xbox One like native games. The next two are 360 and back compat. Disney's Bolt and Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge.
If I remember correctly, that game was not super well received.
No,
that Ninja Gaiden like is not one of the like.
Yeah, apparently it's pretty bad. Not a fantastic lineup compared to Sony's lineup this month.
No, I mean a lot of people really like that Friday the 13th game.
Yeah, I'm not into those
really
asynchronous
interested,
multiplayer games.
Yeah,
that's it for public service announcements. I guess we could talk. What's free on Epic right now? Or going to be free?
Tomorrow, I was just gonna say tomorrow is the new ones, and it is.
I got it,
man. Okay,
it's loading. Minute.
Okay.
It's like some top down. It's like a roguelike where you're live for like a minute and then you die.
Oh right,
and then you play again and you change stuff in the environment, and as you respawn you get farther and farther and farther because with each life you're doing the step ahead, kind of like a Groundhog Day.
Because what's on there right now? I feel like there was
everything is free,
right,
on the Epic Game Store.
And what was
Metro 2033?
Yeah, Metro 2033, the redo though.
Yeah,
like
until October 3rd, which is when this podcast
the day this comes out. Yeah.
So they'll most likely. So does that mean it's still available on the 3rd, or do they roll out at the 3rd? Because
they switch over on the 3rd.
Yeah. And then that's it for public service announcements. Speaking of which, I got a code for Sony graciously provided me with a code for Concrete Genie.
Sweet.
Comes out next week. It's embargoed until after the podcast. By the time this comes out, I'm allowed to say I have it. That's about it.
Oh, good job.
So, yeah.
Anyway. Sweet.
I'll have more to say on that next week if Destiny doesn't totally suck my life away from me.
Oh, I don't expect.
Actually,
I expect that to happen.
Speaking of Concrete Genie, if
you
really want Concrete Genie and you live in Victoria, I don't know if they'll sell it to you because sometimes this stuff is like register locked. I was at Walmart and they had it on the shelf.
Oh, wow.
They had like
Interesting.
10 or 20 copies on the shelf. So I don't know if you could actually buy it if you wanted to, or if it would have been like, this is street dated, and then they'd pull it off the shelf and not sell it to you.
Right.
So, hey, if you live in Victoria and you want a Concrete Genie,
cared.
What's that?
But depending on whether or not the person cared.
Yeah, Walmart at Uptown had like 10 copies, so
that's sweet.
I thought that was kind of funny. I forgot to post it in the Discord. Feel like that's a good post for like the Reddits.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Free for all. Spider-Man's back in the MCU. Sony and Disney made amends, sort of. I don't care about talking about that next story, so I'm removing it.
This is kind of an interesting one.
Yeah.
They announced they will team up for a third film in the Spider-Man Homecoming series.
2 more films? Or 3 more films? It's 3 more films, right?
They're teaming up for a third film. One more. I'm thrilled that Spider-Man's journey in the MCU will continue, and I and all of us at Marvel Studios are very excited that we get to keep working on it, Fidge said in a statement. Spider-Man is a powerful icon and hero whose story crosses all ages and audiences around the globe. He also happens to be the only hero with the superpower to cross cinematic universes, so as Sony continues to develop their own Spideyverse, you never know what surprises the future might hold. This is terrific. Peter Parker's story took a dramatic turn in Far From Home, and I could not be happier. We will all be working together as we see where his journey goes, Pascal said. This has been a winning partnership for the studios, the franchise, and fans, and I'm overjoyed it will continue. Apparently, more details have been released on the terms of the deal from Variety, stating the agreement was signed on Thursday night and involves Sony Pictures, Tom Rothman, Marvel's Phage, and head of Disney, Alan Horn. Marvel and Disney will reportedly receive around 25% of the profits, according to Variety, with Disney still retaining its merchandising rights and putting up approximately a quarter of the financing. Previously, Disney had wanted the deal to be split 50-50.
I don't know why Sony is so ignorant on this. Like, just split it 50-50. You made more money on the last Spider-Man movie than any of the other ones you ever put together by yourself. That's what I don't get. Like, 50-50 is not bad when you make more money than you did before when you made 100% of the money. It's just like, God damn it, get over yourselves.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see here if they...
I swear I read somewhere that there was at least two more movies. One more Spider-Man and another crossover film.
So,
This story doesn't have any of that.
Yeah, no, my understanding, I was talking to somebody else.
I almost swear I heard 3 more movies.
So what I heard was one more actual movie, but then Spider-Man was going to be able to essentially guest in other Marvel MCU movies. But it was only good for one more, like,
full-on Sony Marvel combo.
Yeah.
And then the rest would be Disney featuring Spider-Man.
Yeah, well, like, he could be in an Avengers movie, or
and then
he could
other stories. Not this story doesn't cover it, but other stories have also said that they're basically going to build up to write him out of the MCU. So fucking great.
Yeah,
better than just the cliffhanger and him not being in it
totally.
still.
Oh my gosh!
So this is good. This is like bittersweet.
We'll see. Who knows? Like I'm not. Like I said, I'm going totally on hearsay. I'm totally going on hearsay.
We're gonna get some conclusion to the stuff they built up in Far From Home. So that's great.
Okay. As part of the agreement, this is the Variety story. The New Deal. Blah 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 blah. Phage will be producing the next one as well. As part of the arrangement, Spider-Man will also appear in one future Marvel Studios film. So, there you go.
Cool. That's it, my friend.
That's all you got.
I think that's a podcast. That's an episode 224 of the Geekoholics Anonymous podcast. I am your host, Rico. You can
follow you
on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF. You can also view my streams and this show, which you are maybe doing right now. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just listening to us in your podcast feed. If you ever want to see our ugly mugs in person, you can check it out on twitch.tv/Geekoholics. Dane, where can people find you, my friend?
You can find me on Twitter at Dane Cody. That's DAYNECODY.
Where can they watch you online?
Oh, so glad you asked. You can come bug me on mixer.com/DaneCody.
Sweet. I forgot to put it in the show notes last week. I'll try to remember this week. Links to all those contests. So if you don't remember those super long links, bit.ly Zelda Cups, bit.ly Rackfest, bit.ly Game Pass Ultimate, all caps, to enter the 3 contests we have going on. They'll be in the show notes, so if you have a not shitty podcast player, you'll be able to click on those and enter them. Make sure you do. We appreciate it. Like, even if you don't care about winning the stuff, it just helps spread the social medias of the podcast and helps the audience grow. So like, that's the whole point of giving stuff away, is that someone trips on it and goes like, hey, what's this? Oh, it's podcast. Who are these dorks? Oh, it's Dane and Cody. They're actually kind of cool. I like this. I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to tell all my friends. That's what happens.
That escalated quickly.
Yeah, that's exactly what happens.
Awesome.
And join the Discord server to hang out offline. Because yes, we are streaming live on Twitch, but I try to ignore the Twitch chat. I see it moving and blinking, and sometimes I will reference it when you guys come up with some great stuff on there. But we are a podcast first and foremost. So yeah. Anyway, remember to like, follow, subscribe. We're Geekoholics at Facebook, the Twitter, the YouTubes, and the Instagram. Like, follow, subscribe, share our shit. Any promoting of our stuff that's pretty much all we ask. It helps us grow. Tell
Cool.
people how awesome Dane is and how shitty I am. You guys need to check this out. Man, that Rico guy is so fucking annoying. He doesn't shut up about his Tesla. He thinks he's so cool. He's a fucking loser. I hate that guy.
It's maybe going a little far.
Okay. Maybe. Or it's the opposite, and you think that all about Dane, and you love me and think I'm awesome.
It's entirely possible.
Or you hate us both. Well, if you hate us both, get vocal about it.
Keep hate listening. That's all. There you go. Keep hate listening.
Get vocal and tell everyone on the internet to hate us too.
Or maybe don't do that.
I know. I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. It was great. That was episode 224. We're out of here.